Manipur in India's northeast has been affected by ethnic violence between the Kuki-Zo and the Meitei people since May 3, 2023. The incidence of violence, which has erupted in waves since 2023, has led to the killing of around 250 people and displacement of more than 60,000 people from their homes. Out of the 250 people killed so far, around 175 were killed in the first 4 months of the violence. More than 6,000 weapons and lakhs of ammunition were looted from police armories in the first few days. Around 3,000 of these weapons have been recovered so far. It started on May 3, 2023, when violence erupted in Churachandpur during a tribal solidarity march to mark protest against a Manipur High Court order seeking state government's response on a petition to include Meiteis in the scheduled tribes category. There are 34 scheduled tribes in Manipur, which includes the Nagas and those from the Kuki-Zo Hamar communities. The Meitei Naga and the Kuki-Zo are the three main ethnic groupings in Manipur. The Meiteis, the largest community, account for about 53% of the state's total population of 27.21 lakh, according to the 2011 census. The Nagas and the Kuki-Zo constitute 17% and 26% of the population respectively. After the violence, there are no Kuki-Zo people in the valley districts of Manipur, while there are no Meitei people in the hill districts where the Kuki-Zo live. Buffer zones were created between the hill and valley districts to keep the warring communities away. These zones are guarded by central security forces. India and Myanmar share a 1,643 km unfenced border, which includes 398 km border with Manipur. In January 2024, government decided to fence the entire border and regulate the free movement regime, which allowed people on either side to cross over without any documents or passport within 16 kilometers. People on both sides of the border share ethnic and familial ties, prompting the arrangement since 1968. The FMR has been tightened to reduce the free movement of people from the existing 16 km to 10 km, and additional checks such as border gates and biometric passes have been introduced. Former Chief Minister Narendra Singh and Meitei civil society groups have blamed the porous border for the violence in the state, adding that the route is used by gangs to smuggle narcotics and arms. This part of the border is guarded by Assam Rifles, the oldest paramilitary force in the country. The Bharatiya Janata Party ruled state also earned the distinction of the longest ever internet shutdown in 2023 after Jammu and Kashmir, which saw communication blockade for 552 days since August 5, 2019 in wake of the reading down of its special status under Article 370 of the Constitution. Mobile internet was restored in Manipur on September 23, 2023 after a gap of 140 days. A three-member commission of inquiry notified by the Union Home Ministry in 2023 to probe the Manipur ethnic violence is yet to submit its report. The commission, headed by Ajay Lamba, former Chief Justice of the Guwahati High Court, has received 3 extensions and has been asked to submit its report to the central government not later than November 20. It has received around 11,000 affidavits. While the state has been affected by protracted violence, there has been relative calm since February 13 after President's rule was imposed. Days before this happened, government had appointed former Union Home Secretary Ajay Kumar Bhalla as the state's governor in December 2024. President's rule kicked in the state after a political crisis emerged with the stepping down of Narendra Singh on February 9 after a meeting with Home Minister Amit Shah in New Delhi. The state Bharatiya Janata Party leadership failed to reach a consensus on an alternative leadership to replace Mr. Singh. Barring a couple of incidents, the state has been incident-free since President's rule, and the police has cracked down on gangs indulging in extortion and other criminal activities. On April 4, the resolution to impose President's rule was moved by the Home Minister in Rajya Sabha around 2:40 am. The resolution has to be ratified by both the houses of parliament within 2 months. The minister said that both the communities in Manipur should understand that dialogue is the only way forward, and the union government is not in favor of continuing President's rule even for a single day. Asserting that it was a Manipur High Court order that triggered the violence, the minister said that the interpretation of the order led to insecurities among the tribal community about losing reservation status, and it became a tribals versus non-tribal issue. On April 5 this year, MHA organized one of the first meetings between the Kuki-Zo and Meitei civil society groups in Delhi, where short-term and long-term issues were discussed. The free movement of all vehicles to and from Meitei-dominated valley areas on national highways passing through the Kuki-Zo-dominated hill areas was discussed. National Highway 2, which connects Imphal Valley to Dimapur in Nagaland and further to Assam has been inaccessible to Meitei people since the violence erupted. On September 4, MHA announced that the Kuki-Zo Council, a conglomerate of civil society organizations, has agreed to open the national highway passing through Kangpokpi district for the free movement of commuters and essential goods. The KZC, however, said that the highway was never blocked and remained open for commuters and for transportation of essential goods, and it is the responsibility of the central government to ensure the security of buffer zones. MHA also announced that a suspension of operations pact with the 24 Kuki-Zo insurgent groups has been signed with renegotiated terms and conditions or ground rules. The two key developments came days ahead of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's expected visit to Manipur on September 13, his first visit since ethnic violence erupted in the state. Mr. Modi has been criticized for not visiting the violence-affected state by the opposition parties as well as locals in Manipur. The SU agreement, or the suspension of operations agreement, was signed in wake of the Kuki-Naga clashes in the 1990s when hundreds were killed. The insurgent groups demanded an independent land for the Kuki-Zo people. Former Manipur CM N. Biren Singh had claimed that SU groups violated ground rules and instigated the ethnic violence. The groups have, on the other hand, accused the former Chief Minister of acting on partisan lines. MHA resumed talks with the Kuki-Zo insurgent groups on June 9 after a gap of 2 years to renegotiate the SU pact with stringent ground rules which included reduction in number of camps away from Meitei-dominated areas. The pact, ensuring no criminal action against SU cadres if they followed the ground rules, had been in a limbo since February 29, 2024, when Manipur government refused to renew the tripartite agreement, renewed annually since 2008. Pre-May 2023, the primary demand of the SU groups was autonomous territorial councils within Manipur, but after the violence, they changed the stance to demand separate administration, defining it as a union territory with legislature. The pact has been opposed by Meitei civil society groups. For many in Manipur, the Prime Minister's presence would be more than a political signal. It would be seen as long-delayed recognition of a humanitarian crisis that has scarred the state deeply. Whether this visit leads to genuine reconciliation and justice or becomes another missed opportunity will depend on what follows once the motorcade leaves.